Coach, when you scouted Indiana, what sticks out to them in terms of like them allowing three-pointers essentially?
It was it was less about that for us and us trying to get our defense tighter so we wouldn't give up so many layups, and we just didn't do that until the second half. I think, one of the things about them, teams are going to shoot more threes against them just because it's hard to get in around the basket because of where. I mean, it just makes it very difficult. Like we very rarely shoot that many threes. But in a game like that, we just have to, because we can't score around the basket as easy with him in there. And so there wasn't any strategy that, like, we're gonna we can get open threes. We just run motion, and our guys made good cuts and we got good shots, and it was nice to see Andrew play well and shoot the ball like he did. But I think a lot of teams are just going to shoot more threes against Indiana than they do most people, just because it's hard to score around the basket.
Obviously, not having traded that was a big loss for you guys, but Tanner and Andrew stepped up. Just how big were they for you tonight?
Well, I mean, big, and yeah, it's a big loss for us not to have Trey. And I'm not interested in moral victories. I'm just not. And so, my expectation was that we would win. And we had a couple guys play well. We had some other guys that didn't, and they need to be able to get over that. But the one thing about always losing a guy like that, it almost relaxes you. And I think it'll benefit us in the future to have Andrew get that kind of experience, have Tanner, be able to cut loose and probably get a few more shots because Trey's not in there. I think it'll help us in the future.
I know this wasn't necessarily probably the game plan, but the majority of your points was split up between three different players, Andrew, Tyler, and somebody else. But I guess what allowed for that to happen throughout this game?
I mean, I don't know. They're good players. There certainly wasn't a focus to that. So our bigs just didn't score a lot because it's hard for them to score around the rim. And Brandon led the league in field goal percentage last year. He was 1 for 11. And so we needed our guards. I mean, normally our bigs score a lot of points. We throw it in a lot, but it's hard to do it against them.
Kind of going off that, just how do you prepare for a team like Indiana that's so big in the front court?
I mean, it's like your defense has to be tight. I thought the middle 10 minutes, in other words, from 15 to about 5 in the second half, we finally got our defense in, forced them to shoot the ball from the perimeter a little bit more, and that helped us. And we've been a much worse defensive team, historically a much worse defensive team in the second half because our defense is not in front of our bench. But tonight we were way better in the second half, which I liked. But you give up 54 points in the first half. I mean, that's incredible. They shoot 66%. The only thing I told my players is they're shooting 66%. We're down 5. They can't be happy about that. But you can't give up 54 points and expect you're going to win a lot of games in a half.